Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And had to upload for a few days because I just wanted to take a break as was reviewing a lot of things for October. But now we're November now, and yeah, and of course this is gone now. If anyone notices, but now into November, I wanted to review a film that I absolutely love, and actually, as I say, it was probably one of the best action films I've seen the past couple of years. Probably been the best action film that I've seen since Dread. Because I love Dread, and that was absolutely Carl Urban was absolutely badass as Judge Dredd. But when this film came out, I wanted to see it when I first saw the trailer, and stars Keanu Reeves, and came out, and it was if it hadn't been for How to Train Your Dragon 2, but live action film wise, this would easily be the best film of the year for me for 2014. That is John Wick. Yeah. John Wick came out in 2014, but if it hadn't been for How to Train Your Dragon 2, because well, it's an animated movie though, but for a live action film, this is easily one of the best film of that year for me. But it's hard for me to decide between this and How to Train Your Dragon. But of course, probably the clear choice would have been that for action films would have been this though. But those films, this and How to Train Your Dragon 2, those are the two best films of 2014 to me though. But Keanu Reeves, I said, he's absolutely badass in this movie. For his character, John Wick, he's probably the badass action star since I saw Carl Urban as Dredd. To me, though. Because I love Dredd, and this film just was like, I was like, wowed. Keanu Reeves, he was absolutely just fantastic in this. And for these two directors who I haven't heard of, well, on the cover here it says Chad. This is one director, but this is directed by two directors. One is Chad Stahelski, if I mispronounce the name, which the guy is gonna come back and direct the sequel, Chapter 2, and also but for the first film, I have this and another director called David Leitch. They both did fantastic on this movie. I think it's their first film they've made. I really got to applaud to that. And I guess we also got a very good cast in this movie besides Keanu Reeves. Even though they haven't appeared, even though they have their little roles, but it was nice to see them. So, you have, and the where's in the cast here. You have John Leguizamo, who owns this car garage. They does like the model work and stuff. He's in a little role. You have Ian McShane in a little role as well. Willem Dafoe. It was nice to see him in the film as well. I thought he did good as well. You have a cameo appearance from wrestler Kevin Nash. Just for like maybe about 30 seconds at most. But it was like, oh, that's Kevin Nash. I know that the female hitman in this movie. I know who Adrianne Palicki. I know she's been in other movies though, but I've seen her in other movies though, but I can't quite think of right now though. But I recognize her. And the bad guy, the lead bad guy, who was the Russian mobster guy, Vigo, played by Nyqvist. I mispronounced his name. I thought he did a good job as the Russian bad guy, Vigo. And you also have really enough. You also have an appearance by David Patrick Kelly from he was when I first saw this guy. I remember he played Sully from Commando. I was like, Sully. Remember I told you I was gonna kill you last? Yeah, Johnny said that. I lied. And he just goes and drops him off the cliff. And he was also in the film The Warriors. Because what was the line he says, like, "Warriors come out to play." Yeah, but I almost remember him from Commando as Sully. I was like, oh wow, that's David Patrick. That's David Patrick Kelly. I haven't seen him in forever. It was nice to see. That was also another nice appearance from him. And even the sequel, yeah, I have seen the first teaser for John Wick Chapter 2. And you have other cast members coming back from the first one coming back. You have John Leguizamo comes back, Ian McShane comes back, even David Patrick Kelly comes back. Even the same, I think it's the same. I think the same actors who played his wife in this film comes back as well, which it must be like I don't know how that's gonna work though, but. Even the guy who plays the desk clerk at this hotel, Lance Reddick, even that guy comes back. So yeah, cast members from the first, a lot of cast members from the first one is going to be in the sequel. Okay, and just really quick on John Wick Chapter 2. Looks like now I'm not entirely sure because it's opening up in February for that type of film. I don't think it's not gonna. I'm a little bit skeptic on that. And plus, the thing is, it's opening on the same weekend as that sequel to 50 Shades of Grey. Was it 50 Shades Darker? I think that's probably not going to, because 50 Shades of Grey was a huge hit, and they expect the sequel to be a big hit. So I don't think that I think the sequel is not going to do that well. And I love the film, and so many things I enjoy about it. But again, the thing is though, and also the film not only it got critical praise, which has an 85% of Rotten Tomatoes, which has, you can see right there, the little corner that has the certified fresh right there ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, which it deserves. It deserves that. It deserves that 85%. It has 7.2 on IMDb, even though it could be more higher, like in the 8s, like on par with the 85% of Rotten Tomatoes. The film wasn't that. Even though the film was a success, it wasn't that big of a hit to me to make though, because especially for an action film with Keanu Reeves, I expected it to be like a much bigger hit than the film made overall. I mean, the film, well, it made like 40-some million domestically, and worldwide made what was it, 80-some million? I forget. And I don't go expect to make like $1 billion. No, I'd expect it to ballpark it around maybe 200, or at least maybe less than that though. Yeah, it didn't make up to the 100 million mark, sadly though. And the thing is, what maybe I saw that I saw this in the theater. It was a great time seeing it in the theater. Like I saw Dread, and this came out the same weekend. It didn't get number 1. It opened up number 2 at the box office when this came out, and it was beaten by that very shitty horror film Ouija. Because this year it came out with that prequel, Origin of Evil. Even though that prequel got much more praise than the first one, though. But I'm saying, a film that was panned by critics is like a 9% Rotten Tomatoes. For a typical generic horror film that's not scary. Even though it's supposed to be scary, though, but it's not. That film beat out a badass R-rated action film with Keanu Reeves as John Wick. I don't get it, though. Even though people have the right to say what they want, though, but still, this film should have beaten out Ouija, hands down. To me, at least. Yeah. To me, people should be afraid. People should be afraid of John Wick, not some goat spears wherever about the Ouija board or whatever. I did not like Ouija. I was never scared by it. It was just like a typical generic spirit ghost we've seen like 1,000 times. This I thought was like It was fast paced. It was very extremely well done. John Wick. I mean, Keanu Reeves, absolutely badass. Even like it says, even to the back here, it says cinema's next great badass is here, and I would agree. He's like the newest action character. Out of the past couple years of characters for action films, this is definitely one of them. And out to me at least, Judge Dredd by Carl Urban. And which is funny, this film was willing to get a sequel, but I still want to see a sequel to nothing weird. Not saying the '90s Judge Dredd was still on Dredd. I want to see more Carl Urban as Dredd. I've said this before. I want to see more. But this film was get a sequel before that film. But I'm getting all over the place. But okay, and also in the monthly cast, it's funny to see that this guy Dean Winters. If you remember the Allstate commercials where he's this guy who's just deliberately causing all the accidents for the Allstate commercials. Yeah, it's that guy. He's in this movie. This film. He's part of the mobster gang as well. I was like, oh, really? Is that the guy from the Allstate commercials? Not Dennis Haysbert, because he's also in those Allstate commercials as well. But also but the guy who also deliberately causes those accidents. It's like, I am this or I'm whatever, and whatever. Yeah, it was fine to see that guy in there. But anyway, the story it's very simple. And the film is very fast paced. Everything is cut into really quickly. It's only like over 101 minutes, but it's very fast paced. It's well edited, and I didn't see too many shaky cams because Keanu Reeves he moves fast in this movie. I understand everything was going on. Just because he's moving fast doesn't mean the camera work has to move fast. No, it's very clear to see what's going on. It wasn't quick editing or anything like that, which I appreciated. But the story it's like I said, it's very simple. And how it opens up what this is the scene that you're gonna see at the end of the movie, but it opens up with him like he's injured though, but he hears like the messages of his the phone of his wife. And it shows like a very silently because John Wick, he's a hitman who worked for the Russian mob for our bad guy Vigo. He retired because he had his wife, and it shows the montages through that she's sick and she died, and of course you get which always happens, like it's always having a rainy day. It's a rainy funeral. You see that like a lot of movies. Usually I would say 80% of the movies where there's a funeral, it's always rainy. But still going on. And he briefly talks with Willem Dafoe, who is a friend of his, which he also is a hitman though, but he's also a friend of Keanu Reeves. And then one night he gets something called on his doorstep, and it's a little dog cage, and it's a letter from his wife. I thought it was a really good emotional scene for the character of John Wick because he loved his wife so much, and she left this for him because of all the illness that she had, and now she's finally found her peace, and now she left her last parting gift to him for something that he can love. So though he doesn't have to grieve alone, so he has got this really cute puppy, which the puppy is really cute. And so just to help him, try to move on, so that something he can keep him company, and it was like, and I liked how he starts bonding with this little puppy, like. First sleeps on the floor, then next morning is on his bed, wakes him up. And I like the way he feeds the dog cereal. Takes the puppy with him into his car, and I like how he goes to he has this thing to not like an airport, but a sort of a way where I guess where planes go. But he drives around all around like running around and making hard turns and stuff like that. And then he goes to a gas station where these three guys are, which one of them is the son of our bad guy, the mobster, the Russian mobster Vigo. And John Wick, he didn't do anything wrong. It's that these guys are just, they're punks basically, but especially the son. He's like, what was the guy said? He said, he said bitch basically, but Keanu Reeves spoke in their language like, he says, not this bitch. He didn't do anything wrong though. But that one night, the guys they break into his house, they beat him, and the sad thing is they killed his dog. Sadly, and I'm a dog lover, and I just don't like, as a part of me, it's like I'm not seeing dogs get killed on films though. But even though it's a movie though, because the other things, no animals were harmed during the making of the movie, but still, yeah, especially for such a cute puppy though, to see that. Oh, it's supposed to be ballsy, whatever. But even also my brother, he saw this movie and he thought the whole plot of it was stupid because he's after them because he killed his dog. I mean, whatever. That's my brother though. I mean, just because he doesn't like it all because of that, because he killed his dog. He doesn't think about why though. But I'm not getting to that. But and I like how he's lying on the floor, Keanu Reeves, and you see the trail of blood, and because the dog was like far away when they killed the dog, so I get the idea that they deliberately put that dog right there for him, right in front of his face for him to see. And once he's all upset, and he buries the dog, he puts it in his shoebox and buries it. And also the guys, they stole his car, and they take it to John Leguizamo's place for his little brief appearance. It was nice to see him there. And he's asking, where'd you get that? Because he knows whose car that is. And the guy, he knows nothing about who they just robbed, and he says, what does it matter? And John goes and punches the guy. And of course, it's these, you really hate these bad guys. It's like how the past couple of films previous reviews that I have been saying, you have these bad guys that you really want to hate. Here's another set of bad guys for her that you definitely want to hate because now since what they did, they brought a storm of hell that's coming to them, and you definitely want them to pay, and which they do. And because John Leguizamo says, where'd you get that? He punches the son, and then the Vigo, who is the head Russian mobster, he calls John Leguizamo and he says, you hit my son. Why? And he goes and says, because your son stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. And then the guy says, oh. Even so, there is a little bit of sense of humor to the movie that I did like though, but it's handled well. Just like brief, like, oh. And then the guy hangs up. So yeah, that's a sense of humor like that. It's handled well. And I thought the humor in the film was good in the film. And now Keanu Reeves, he's going out. First he talks to John Leguizamo for that little bit, and the son talks to his father, and the father hits him because of what he did. And he's like, it's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to. And he says, that fucking nobody? And the father says, that fucking nobody is John Wick. And you get cuts in between you get cuts between between Vigo and John Wick going back and forth, because Vigo is explained to who is John Wick. At the same time, John Wick is taking the sledgehammer and he's digging up all of his armory stuff. And Vigo is like he says he used to work for us, and he was nicknamed what was it, the Baba Yaga. And then the son says the Boogeyman. No, John Wick is not the Boogeyman. He's the guy that you sent to kill the fucking Boogeyman. So I do like that. Yeah, he's basically that's what he is. He is the, you can tell he is the guy who was sent to kill the Boogeyman. I mean, I'm just smiling because I just love how this whole thing is. How the way how he explains, and he said how the bad guys explain John Wick's background and everything, and he's like, at this bar, he killed 3 guys with a pencil. A pencil. And then you steal his car. You killed his dog. He's coming for you. And he knows he's gonna come for him. So he calls him up, and the Keanu Reeves just hangs up on him. And I thought, and when you get the first really good action scene where they send a team of guys to his house, and Keanu Reeves he just takes them all out one by one. He just goes shoots, boom 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 boom. Lots of headshots, and like he has one guy on the table. He goes like a hammer arm on him, breaks out one guy's neck, and he gets one. So he tries to get the knife in, goes boom, stabs it right into the guy repeatedly, and he's just taking all the bad guys. And John Wick, he's moving very fast, and there's no shaky cam. I can see what's going on. And you just see boom, boom, and then even does like a couple. He shoots a guy a couple of times just to make sure, and you get lots of headshots and lots of body count as well. It's a really well done action scene. And Keanu Reeves, absolute badass as a John Wick. And then the cops come, and this cop knows John Wick, and you can tell that he knows who. You can tell he knows who he is though, and he's like, "Oh, hey John, hey Jimmy, noise complaint." And it's like noise complaint, and the cop looks at it, sees all the dead bodies, and he's like, "You working again?" I'm sorting some stuff out, and he's like, "Oh, all right, good night, John. Good night, Jimmy." And the cops just leave because they know who he is, so they're staying out of it. So I like that. I like that. See, that's the sense of humor that I like. That is very well done. It's not. They don't do any. It's a humor that's not. It's not silly, but it's handled well. That's what I like. And then he calls David Patrick Kelly as Charlie, and it's like he tells. I like this also this idea that with these hitmen that they pay with gold coins. That was like a different take on how, because you know how hitmen are, they always want to do things for money though. But in this case, they have these things with gold coins, and I like that little idea there. And David Patrick he calls David Patrick Kelly saying that I like to make a dinner reservation for 12. And basically, David Patrick Kelly, he's a cleanup guy, and he has his team, and they go and get rid of all the dead bodies, they clean up all the blood, and they tidy up the house, make sure everything is clean, not a trace of all this stuff has happened. They get all the weapons, they wrap all the bodies up in plastic, and he goes and pays him with these gold coins. So then Keanu Reeves, he goes to this hotel, which is basically, it's a hotel for hitman. Which is another like ideas that I like about this. Just first you pay with the gold coins, get this hotel, so like exclusively like for hitman. And the clerk, Lance Reddick, I think his name, the guy's name is, and which he's gonna come back in the second film. No, it's basically he knows who these hitmen are, especially for John Wick, and and pays him with the gold coin. And then he goes down to the bar club, like a secret bar club, which you pay with a gold coin. Like, person opens up, sees him, closes it, and lets him in. Yeah, so it's a hotel for Hitman. They get this little club that's for Hitman. And he goes and talks to the guy who owns the hotel, played by Ian McShane. And of course, tells about the rules, about the hotel, no fighting and stuff. So, and he talks to this bartender who knows John Wick, and he says, tells her he's sorry about his wife and never seen you like this. You're vulnerable. And then he's like, I'm retired. And then he gets a tip where the son is at this other nightclub, and we get that little cameo appearance by Kevin Nash, who's like basically he's he's not a bodyguard, but he's who lets people a doorman. That's what he is. He's a doorman, and his John says, "Hello, Francis. Hello, Mr. Wick." He was like, and he starts speaking in the language like, "You lost weight? Over 60 pounds." This is I like how the translation, it shows the subtitles for the language, and some of the words are highlighted in a different color, and it says like, "Oh, very impressive." And it's like, and John Wick says, why don't you take the night off? And takes the earpiece. I was like, "Thank you, sir." So he goes and lets him go. So even though he was in the movie for 30 seconds, at least he didn't kill him. So he lets him go, and then he kills one of the guys, one of the three guys that was with the son in this bathroom. Like in the reflection of the mirror, he kills one guy with a knife, and then gets that one guy, breaks the guy's leg, and he goes and sticks his face in the water and presses the guy down and breaks his neck. And then really good really good action scene where there's one quick shot where there's a guy who on this glass panel, just blood splatter on the glass, and then he gets one guy with a knife and jams it right through up here through the mouth. And he's just taking all the bad guys out, and once again more head counts, him being very quick and swift, and just he's reloading very fast, and he's shooting lot more body count. And he has one guy pinned down. He looks at the sun, shows him that he's not messing around. Shoots him right in front of him. This is a guy you don't want to. This is a guy he clearly shows the guy you don't. Gotta slow myself down. Stop talking too fast. He's a guy that you don't want to mess with. You start something with him, you're gonna die. So he's after him, and shoots more guys, and like this big guy with a beard, he grabs a guy by the beard and shoots him in the head. Lots of headshots, which was like very quick, and it's very well edited, not shaky cam basically. And he gets to a fight with this one guy, and he's running out of ammo, and the guy throws him off the balcony, lands hard on the floor, but he still keeps going. And he gets stabbed right here. So he heads back to the hotel, and he tells the clerk, "Is the doctor in?" And it's like, and he says, "Yeah, 24/7. Send him up, please." "Very well, sir. Would you like a drink with that? Bourbon?" And he's like, John Wick's like, "That'd be perfect." So, and he's in his room, and he's just resting. Willem Dafoe, because he gets Vigo hires him to kill John Wick though, but he doesn't. So he kind of helps him out. Like he has he's on a roof somewhere, and he has a sniper rifle. He sees him. He's got a clear shot at him, but he saves him by missing on purpose because I guess he knew that someone else is after him, which is Adrianne Palicki. Perkins is her name. Who also is hired by Vigo to kill John Wick. So and you also get it's a good fight between the both of them in the room. And also, like, one part where Keanu Reeves, he gets like a sheet and wraps it around the girl's face and knocks her out. And he gets visited, and he gets a call by the desk clerk. And it's like, oh, there's been noises. And he says, I've been dealing with an uninvited guest. And he says, oh, very well, sir. And he meets up with another hitman by a guy named Harry that John Wick knows. And he asks him to watch the girl. By which the girl like breaks her thumb, slips out of the cuffs, and shoots him in the head, and takes that gold coin that John Wick paid him for. And then Keanu Reeves goes to this church, which is a place where Viggo has his vault of money and stuff like that, and he goes and immediately shoots this guy who thinks is a priest, though, but he's another Russian gang member. And he goes and destroys all Viggo's money, and he gets more of a shootout with him with a machine gun, taking more guys out. But then he gets captured by Viggo, and has him tied up, and tells him, you know, you left, and because on terms, but he says over a car and a dog, and he says, and John Wick says, you know, when my wife died, I lost everything, and that dog showed up on my doorstep to help, which was the last thing that my wife gave me, so I wouldn't have to grieve alone. And then your son killed it, and I want him. So then they're trying to kill him by putting a plastic over his face, but Willem Dafoe helps saves him again, shoots one guy in the head, and Keanu Reeves gets into another fight with the guy from the bar. By the end, he gets into a leg chokehold and breaks his neck. And then he goes and gets this type of shotgun, shoots the car out, and kills more of the guys, and tells Viggo to pull the contract, and tells where his son is at. And then he goes and talks, not yet though, but he goes where the son is at, and he shoots the one guy who's playing a video game. Like, you know, goes this way. Goes right through this guy's head right there. And then he kills all the remaining guys and blows the cars up, and then shoots him, and then the son, he's speaking in the Russian language. He's like, it was just an effing, then shoots him in the head. Next time when you plan to steal someone, look up who you're trying to steal. Otherwise, you won't get yourself killed next time by not knowing who you're dealing with, or who are you stealing it from. So, and then he talks with Willem Dafoe again, but when Willem Dafoe gets home, Perkins and Viggo's there, and he's in the chair, and he gets beaten up, and the guy stabs in the leg, but Willem Dafoe, he has enough fight left to kill 2 more guys, but then he gets shot, and Viggo shoots him much more times, and he's dead. So, and then that female assassin, Perkins, she gets a good comeuppance as well. That she's called to meet someplace, and Ian McShane, Ian McShane and his men, they surround her and tell her because he's the owner of the hotel, and he has rules, and she broke those rules by fighting with John Wick. So she broke the rules, and now she gets shot all at once by the men surrounding her. And then Ian McShane, he pays Charlie, David Patrick Kelly, to clean her up. So, and Ian McShane tells where Viggo is heading as well, and he's going up to trying to make an escape on a helicopter. And John, he takes his car and runs one car off a siding and lands down below. And then he attacks Viggo's car, and the guy from the Allstate commercials was the guy Dean Winters. like where Keanu Reeves he turns his car to make it slide, and then the guy bashes through the windshield. That was a good scene where he makes his car, turns his car the sideways and slide towards him, making the guy get his head bashed through the windshield like so. And then Vigo, he escapes, tries to get back to the helicopter, and it's raining, and gets a little bit of a brief fight. Keanu Reeves, he lets himself get stabbed so he can break the guy's arm, and stabs the guy up here, and eventually that's where I guess that's where he. Well, he gets stabbed right here, but I guess he must have got stabbed somewhere because that's how the guy dies. And then it ends where we see at the beginning where he stops in front of the pet hospital, animal hospital, and he heals himself because he got stabbed. He staples himself up. And then he sees another dog, which is another puppy, which is a pit bull, and he goes and takes that dog home with him. And as he walks off into the night, which actually also in the trailer for John Wick Chapter 2, you see that dog. You see that he still has that dog with him. So, but John Wick is awesome. It's badass, fantastic. Keanu Reeves is best since The Matrix. I would do agree with that. Keanu Reeves, which I've always enjoyed Keanu Reeves. I loved him in Speed. Still was my favorite films growing up, which was Speed. Which is also one of my favorite action movies. I love Speed. Then the other films that I also enjoy Keanu Reeves in. Of course, Constantine, The Matrix, of course, Bill and Ted's Excellent and Bogus Adventures. What was the ones I liked him in? Yeah, Constantine. Oh, Street Kings. That was a film. Yeah, it was also also another cop movie with him, Forrest Whitaker, and Hugh Laurie, from the same guy who directed Suicide Squad. Really, now was it David Ayer? But I enjoyed Keanu Reeves. Yeah, his best is The Matrix. Yeah, I definitely agree with that though. But I love Speed, and I love Constantine, Bill and Ted. Yeah, just those. Of course, like I said, the Matrix movies, and it was nice to see a different type of action. Well, yeah, I would say action hero basically. He's not a superhero, but he's an expert hit. He's not expert hitman. That doesn't make any sense. He's a hitman who's a badass. He's a badass hitman. More I can say that on that. He's a badass hitman. He's he's basically for hitmans that appeared on screen, he's definitely one of the best hitman I've seen. And I would even say he should be like the hitman from the video game adapted movie from 2007, the one with Timothy Olyphant. Now this is a hitman. Now this is a guy who would beat the shit out of that hitman. I would definitely say that, or even the hitman from Hitman 47. Yeah, both of those Hitman. Yeah, Keanu Reeves would beat the shit out of both of those Hitman. Because this guy is fast, he's quick, and Keanu Reeves he looks good. I think he is in his 50s. I would say. Yeah, he is, and he moves really fast and quick for someone in his 50s. He looks. To me, he looks like he hasn't aged that much in years, for what I've seen. Except he has he'd probably say with the beard and the hair, basically. But Keanu Reeves, I think he looks still pretty good for an action hero. He is still badass. John Wick, is absolute badass, awesome, fantastic, excellent. Every good name in the book, I would say. I don't think the film I have no problems with. Yeah, this would have been my favorite film for. I was yes definitely for live action. All the live action films in 2014. This is definitely my favorite. And of course, How to Train Your Dragon 2 though, but it's hard to argue because I love How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yeah, but I would say yeah, both of these movies are definitely my favorite films of the year. It was hard to decide for that though, but regardless though, I love this film. I'll be interested to see the sequel if it holds up to the first film. Because usually because with Dread, I know it's gonna be messed up because it's for taking too long for all the problems for trying to make a sequel to Dread, but this one gets a sequel though. But and usually if a sequel does come out, usually sequels are always messed up anyway. But not all sequels though. But I'm saying though, usually if there's a really good film, sometimes a sequel can mess it up though. But I just hope Chapter 2 does not mess that up. It's from the same guy, from the same with the two directors to coming back, and you got a lot of the cast members coming back, and Keanu Reeves looks like he's doing the same, like doing more fast shooting and fighting. But we'll have to see about that though. But yeah, I think that it's very very well fast paced. The story was very simple. Yeah, even though my brother says this, probably said the story was stupid because he killed his dog. That's how my brother thinks though, but I think it was very effective because it would just enrage this guy more to go and kill everybody. Because it was the last thing that was left from his wife, and the dog is dead, and that's why he's now going after all these people who are responsible for that. Because how much he loved his wife, and those the last party gift that she left for him, and he was starting to bond over this little puppy. Gets killed, and now he's pissed. He's gonna kill everybody and take names. Yeah. Or shoot first and ask questions later. But yeah, Keanu Reeves, badass action star I've seen for quite some time, since Carl Urban as Dredd, basically. Yeah, Dredd in this film. Over the past few years, I've seen Dredd, this film, for action movies. This is like I would definitely give this an absolute 2 thumbs up for this film. Sad that this film got beaten by a shitty horror film like Ouija. I still can't believe. Yeah, because I saw this in the theater. I did not see Ouija, but I saw this, and I can't believe this film beat this film. That film beat this film for number 1. I just call bullcrap, to me, in my opinion. But yeah, I love this movie regardless. So this film I probably have no problems with. Love the action. Love the editing. Music I thought was pretty decent as well. The cast a lot of the cast members have small parts though, but they all do a good job. The bad guy who played Vigo, he was good. The lines of dialogue that I liked, with the boogeyman and all that. The sense of humor, the way it was handled well. It wasn't so silly. It was well handled. Story was simple, but yet effective. And Keanu Reeves he's just absolute badass. That's the highlight of the movie. A badass Keanu Reeves kicking ass. And yeah. So I'll give Chapter 2 a look though, but I don't think it's not gonna do that well because it comes out in February and it's open like the same day as that movie, the sequel to 50 Shades of Grey. So hey, this is released around the Valentine's Day weekend, and well, hey, Deadpool. Look at Deadpool. That was an R-rated action movie that broke records and made a shitload of money basically on the Valentine's Day weekend. But I would definitely I like this film more than Deadpool. I like Deadpool though, but this is definitely much more of a better action movie than Deadpool. To me, it is. I wish this film could have made a little bit more money, at least to me. But I don't think the sequel is not going to do that well because how its release date setup is. But it could surprise me or not, though. But yeah, John Wick kicks ass, and I love this movie. And 45 minutes in, it deserves a review like this. I love this movie, and I always enjoy this. One of the best action films I've seen for the past couple years. This film, Dread, a few others, but well, I'll be enjoying my review for John Wick, and planning to do some more things for this November though. Gives around for the Thanksgiving weekend and stuff like that, but I'm gonna sell for this one. So yeah, that's John Wick. If anyone likes the film, that's fine. But oh man, it's cool if everyone likes the film. But some people probably not like the storyline. Especially even my brother, because he killed his dog. It's a simple, effective story. What more can I say? It's more than that. But yeah, if anyone likes the movie, that's cool. But I don't think there's anyone who. If anyone does not like the movie, that's it. They have every right to. But I don't think there is probably a person who doesn't. But yeah. But anyway, that's my review for John Wick. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.